Harvest Elite is a program that we developed with our partners at Mycogen and Croplan. It's a program that at Harvestland we felt like it's a VIP program, it's a club for our growers that we know want to think outside the box and that we can be partners on their farm. It gives the growers an opportunity to benefit not only from some discounts, but also the different meetings we put on at a high level of speakers sometimes they wouldn't have the opportunity to listen to. But also it's competition, yield competition at the end, and so it gives them that opportunity on a smaller scale to look at some products that maybe sometimes they wouldn't and figure out if those products are something that truly work on their farm or if they don't, and whether it will give them a positive return on their investment to do it on a larger scale on their farm.
What I like probably most about Harvest Elite is the fact that it pushes you to try new things, to push our yields to be the best they can be. You know, we had the idea of trying some different foliar feeds or fungicides or more fertility. It gives you the, I guess, the push and drive to want to take 20 acres and push the envelope to see what you can really yield out of these crops.
Harvest Elite encompasses some of the best growers in the countryside in Indiana and Ohio, and yet they all would say that they learned from the meetings that we hosted this year. The neatest part of the program that I really enjoyed this year was having the ability to meet with the Yield Pro specialists from Harvestland Co-op as well as the Harvest Elite growers. And through the conversations, you noticed really quick that through the Harvest Elite program, the decision became on how we were going to push yields. Having a grower background myself, I know that this year with commodity prices being where they were and going into more challenging times, everyone's first solution was to cut prices. But with this group, it wasn't necessarily where we could cut back. It was where we could find the most value and what products we wanted to make sure were on that acre so that we'd see the value in the yield this fall. And that was the most exciting part, was to jump in a combine or get a phone call from a grower where he had tried something new this year, or added a nitrogen stabilizer or an insecticide or a fungicide, and through using those products, he saw an increased yield.
The way we had Harvest Elite set up in terms of the actual contest itself is that on corn we wanted to harvest 36 rows, 500 feet long, and they could cherry pick the best spot of the field. We had different growers do it different ways. Some kind of got into a section and left it. Others just took the section that they were in, a really good field. In a couple cases, you know, they got pretty detailed on where they wanted to take that sample from. On soybeans, it was 500 feet again by 90 feet, so we could square that up. And again, some people, you know, actually left a strip in the field where we went back and measured. Others would just take it as we were going. A lot of times we maybe do one or two different samples while we were there just to see how the crop was doing. But it was very interesting. We had a few that had some other side-by-sides that we went ahead and weighed while we were there. And I think it was a learning experience not only for us, but also for the growers. And there were some guys who typically don't want to do test plots that ended up having some good yield data on their own ground, which I think is the most important.
I guess I'm hoping to see if we need to be higher maintenance on our crops. I've been very impressed with the genetics that are taking place in corn and what we need to do to increase our yields. I've seen that I have had problems with our soybeans and trying to understand. Doesn't appear as if a higher maintenance activity in beans are allowing our yields to increase as comparable to corn. So I'd like to learn more about how we can increase our bean yields. But yeah, I would be involved again. We'd like to have some benchmark that we can evaluate how our farms are doing.
I think it is a success. You know, as a salesperson, you always want, you know, as many units as you can get, you know, to have as many new farmers. But I think what's really satisfying as a salesperson looking at where we're at is some of the yields that we did get on Harvest Elite. I mean, you're talking a lot of 80 bushel entries on soybeans. The corn, we're all in the mid 200s, you know, in terms of the kind of year that we had, and then be able to see those yields not only a little bit better than the averages, but up and above. And I think the growers really got into it. And I think the important thing for even the sellers, they were out there at harvest. And when you're out there at harvest, you can see not only the good, but you know, the bad thing of these hybrids, and help us be able to place them in the future even better than we did this year. So yeah, I think it was a success. I think year 2 and year 3 will be even bigger.
I think that through Dow AgroSciences, Mycogen Seeds, and the Harvestland Co-op partnership, we were able to set the foundation for growers
To think outside the box,
Expand their horizon and their potential on every acre,
to push the yield limits to the max this year.
to win at that next level. And I think at the end of the day, we're all, you know, winners, and we want to, you know, push the bar as far as possible.
on behalf of Harvestland Co-op and Croplan Seeds,
Mycogen Seeds,
In Dow AgroSciences, we would like to thank our Harvest Elite farmers. Thank you for participating in the first annual Harvest Elite program.